Hello there, artists of the world. I wanted to talk today about creativity. I want to talk about how we relate to creativity in our lives. I just realized I'm really working on not saying and it makes me wonder where that comes from and what's happening there. And I think it's just about filling space. And in fact, that's an interesting aspect of creativity. The, there it was again. The drive to, the motivation, the urge to create something new that hasn't been expressed in existence yet. That urge, in a way, is similar to what happens saying because there is this filling in of space. I'm sure you can relate to times in your life where you've been with someone or in a group and the conversation just falls silent. I wonder for you how able you are to tolerate that. What comes up for you? Do you see it as a natural ebb and flow and feel comfortable with that? Or is there not even conscious thought of it, an immediate, filling in of space? And some of you are creative artists when it comes to dialogue. Some of us are more listeners. But what I want to talk about specifically is how in your life you're relating to your own creativity and how that expresses through you. I feel this is an important topic, and if you've noticed in most of my videos, the theme is around designing our lives to be beautiful, our expression every day, the importance of that, creating that in a way that feels in alignment with your soul and an expression of your creativity. So when I woke up this morning, the first thing I did was, and this doesn't always happen, there's that word again. Interesting. It's so quick. Okay. So I woke up this morning and I went to the meditation room after walking Little Leaf, the fairy wolf, of course. He gets first priority. In fact, he wakes me up at 5:30 every morning and we go for a walk. And then I get to do my thing. And I have quite an extensive self-care ritual which has grown over the years, especially this last year. A real focus on health, harmony in the home, and self as home. So I woke up, I walked Leaf, I went into the meditation room, I did some intuitive stretching, I sat for 20 minutes just to clear my mind and see what was there, what was coming up, what pieces are really activated in my life. I'm thinking a lot about work. I am starting a private practice up again, and we could think of it too as a song in a way, these ums and hms and ahs, just filling in, for a kind of rhythm as we speak, this soliloquy. Typically, we're in conversation, one speaking, and then you're listening, and then you're speaking, and then you're listening. On these videos, this sort of a one-way track. So it's almost as if I have to listen to myself and fill in some of those spaces. Either way, it's all act of creativity, and we can look at anything aesthetically, which helps me to understand my experience and my relationship with the world. So I cleared my mind, then I went for my run. I ran all the way to Big Sky Road and even further, which is the first time I went even further, and I realized I came upon that the trail continued, which I didn't know that it did. Actually, I thought that was the end, but it in fact continues. And then I went all the way, and then I didn't see where the trail continued, but I did see another road, and this one was called Waking Sky. So before I had made it to Big Sky, I thought that was an achievement. But Waking Sky, that's even better. So that felt really good to start my day feeling like I'm pushing my limits, going to my edge and beyond, creating new edges, which we're always doing in life. And of course, that's, one could argue, what life is about, right? Is this evolution, simply, and expansion of experience, of expression, etc. I love alliteration. So I came home, I had breakfast, I gardened, I planted the second half of our vegetable garden. We've got kale and dill and parsley and cilantro and cucumber and chard and basil and mint, which is really growing, and other kinds of kale. So it felt really good to get in the earth, plant some babies, take care of them, give them a new home, you know, really grounding soil. There was worms in there. Felt really healthy, really exciting, and so that was my morning, and that was my day. And so in each of those experiences that I had, I'm relating it to a larger whole. I'm relating it to the core of who I am, what I experience as self, spirit, soul, that axis, interesting kind of flip on words there, axis. How able are you to access your axes is a really good question, in fact, and align with it. So in each of those experiences, I have myself as the reference point, as the common denominator, and I'm interested in having a cohesive, coherent, running story throughout my whole day, from dawn to dusk. So it's not a series of scattered, separate pieces, so that it is in fact a silken thread of my soul expressing itself, and I'm able to understand it. I'm a very conscious being then, right? In that story, I'm very much participating in the world around me and how I'm moving through it. Choices I make, how I take in my own experience and make meaning, right? So when I was clearing my mind in the meditation this morning, you'll have to excuse the background noise. When I was clearing my mind in the meditation this morning, I allow my visual, imaginal self to move and observe within me and my surroundings. And that really begins and activates the kind of I, E-Y-E-I, the kind of looking that is necessary to live an aesthetic life, to live a beautiful life, to live an aligned life, to live a life that is matching up with your soul and spirit. And you allow that kind of seeing to be, and in doing that you get a bird's eye view of your life, and you can see what works and what doesn't in the composition of all that you do. And you can begin to edit things that just take away from the vision and the picture of your ideal life, of your ideal being. And this is how we create a reality. This is how we create a lovely life. And we have to continue to look, continue to assess, continue to adjust, just as a painter does on the canvas, just as a sculptor does with the clay, just as a builder does in any medium. You're working it. You're looking, adjusting, assessing, reworking, shaping your day. And just starting with one small piece of your day is perfect. It will expand. The pieces will begin to link together. And sooner or later, you have an entire composition, and it can bridge into the years and decades and your entire life. I think we can experience as a whole, and what an empowering way to exist.